Hello everybody, I want to welcome you all back to Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles. In the last video we passed through the stream and we made it to Ironmine Downs. In this area there is another port, a town, and 2 dungeons. We'll be completing both of the dungeons, not by choice, we actually have to do both of these. And then by that time we'll actually be on our 2nd year. So, as tempting as it is to go to the new town, we're not going to go there yet. We're actually going to take a detour and we're going to go and do the Mushroom Forest first. The reason for that is because the Mushroom Forest, in my opinion, is probably the easiest dungeon in the entire game, even in later years. It's short, it's quick, it's easy, and we'll be able to have more money and materials for when we go to the next town. So, we're just going to go ahead and dive right into the Mushroom Forest.
When I was a child, I once asked my mother, "Where did I come from?" She answered, "Why, we all sprouted from the mushroom forest, of course." Nightmares soon haunted my sleep. I dreamt that I was lost among the toadstools. I awoke in tears, but felt the warmth of my mother's embrace as she comforted me. It is something I still remember to this day.
Alright, so we're ready to get started in the Mushroom Forest. Now, the reason the Mushroom Forest is so short is because a lot of it is cut off until later years. If we go to the right, this is just a shortcut that we can use later if we want to. I'll show you where it is, but I'm not going to take it because it will send us all the way back to the beginning. It's very straightforward. There's usually only one real path to take, but we do have new enemies. Forgot to mention, I guess while I'm fighting this enemy, this is a Carrion worm. Now that he's defeated, I will go ahead and I will just slip the bios of all the new monsters we'll be seeing right here. And as you can see, we have a lot of new monsters. There are a bunch of different varieties, and they're a little bit tougher. Not much tougher, mind you, so I wouldn't worry. Down here, you can see there's a little shortcut there. That won't be accessible until our 3rd year, I think, that we come here. So, again, another shortcut that we can't use. These are hell plants. Go ahead and take care of these guys. The thing about the Mushroom Forest, too, is a lot of the enemies in here are just so extremely slow. And it's very, very easy to defeat them. So, this place really, like I said, this is probably one of the easiest places. It's a lot of fun, though. It's got great music. It's got a great variety. It's got a very maze-like feel and everything like that, but this, again, is another shortcut that we cannot use until later years, so that is also cut off. So this is a Gremlin. Go ahead and defeat him. Get some more money. We're going to need lots of money and hopefully some new crafting materials by the time we get to the next area, because we can actually start making new weapons. If you stand on these mushrooms, they will spring you over. Now this Ahriman, I'm wondering if I can fuse. It's slow. If I have the gravity spell, which I know I do, and I know I can use it. I think I have to fuse Blizzard and Thunder. There we go. If you use gravity, you can bring flying enemies to the ground, and it makes them easier to defeat. They pretty much become a mole ball. They cannot attack you, and they become a lot weaker. In later worlds, this is actually pretty much absolutely necessary to defeat a lot of enemies because they are so tough. But in the Mushroom Forest and in a few of the earlier worlds, it's not necessary. I thought I would just show that trick off to you because it is very helpful. It's very helpful because like I said, they become way easier to attack, and they're immobile. They're useless. They can't attack you. So here's another element changer. We can change this to water. We don't really need it to be changed though, so I'm gonna leave that for the time being, because we actually can't get past Iron Mine Downs. We're stuck here until the next year. I really forgot to mention, I really should have mentioned it earlier, but it is mandatory to do Riverbell Path, the Mushroom Forest, and the next area that we'll be doing. The game kind of sets you on a set path in your first year. This is the shortcut that will take us back to the very beginning of the dungeon if you want to do that, if you missed something, but like I said, I'm not going to do that because it's a waste of time. And again, more enemies. We saw the Hedgehog Pies in the Riverbell Path, but that's the only one that's actually recycled. You can see he just hit me with his breath attack. You can see my hearts are purple. That means I'm poisoned. The good thing about status effects in this game is that they eventually just go away. Once you have them for a while, they gradually just wear off. There is a type of stone in this world you can get, or in other worlds really. It's called a clear stone. I don't think I've picked one up yet, but what you can do is you can basically use the cure stone to get rid of any status effect you have, like poison or anything like that. I don't think we have one though. It's a white stone. No, we don't have one. I'll show that off if we do end up picking one up, but down there is again another shortcut we can't use until later years. Basically, like, the mushrooms have to like grow. I guess that's the logic behind that. The mushrooms have to grow, so you have to wait to come back to later years. As you can see, I haven't used gravity on this Ahriman, and you can see how much tougher he was to defeat. That's just an example of how much tougher they are when they're in the air. Anywho, we can pick up this treasure, thank God, finally, but actually a treasure that we can pick up. That's a dead end. We're actually very, very close to the end of this place. We haven't even been here for 10 minutes, which is crazy. This world would be like a speedrunner's paradise, because all you'd have to do is basically run in a straight line, really collecting nothing or doing nothing along your way. Okay, so this is a clear stone I was talking about. If you pick that up and you cast it on yourself just like you would cure, and instead of curing hearts, it will cure any status effect that you have. So I'll pick that up, but I generally don't use it just because poison goes away relatively quickly, and poison's not really all that deadly to me, especially if you're careful and you just keep really well healed. So I'm too lazy to use gravity on him, although I should be using it. In later worlds, you definitely have to pick up your slack, and laziness really will screw you over. So, alright, so chunk of gold, that's good. Again, we have another element changer if you want to do that. Man-eater, sorry. And we're pretty much at the end here. This is the final stretch before the boss. Even with defeating all these enemies, it's very, very easy. Defeating enemies isn't at all necessary, but I always do it. If you come on this mushroom here, we can actually get to this treasure chest. Oh, hallelujah. That's an earth pendant, and that should be our last treasure. However, there is a Moogle home up here, believe it or not. It's just in between these mushrooms and over here, so let's go in here and see the Moogle. You wouldn't think cute little Moogles would be living in this place, but they are, so let's get our Mog stamp here. Oh yay, we got another matching one. I think we only need one more, so that'll be awesome. Alrighty. Can you carry the Shireless Mog? I don't want to. Thank you. Alright, now we can get to the boss, and I think I might actually make this a longer video and just do the boss battle, because like I said, this area is just so short, and the boss of this area is actually really easy too. He's also one of the easier bosses. Even in later years, he's really easy to defeat. Get back here, annoyance. Basically, even in these earlier worlds, it's just good to defeat everything because you can pick up everything, and you can use it to your advantage. In later worlds, it's not always to your best benefit to defeat all the enemies because they might be giving you a tough time. There might just be too many. You might just want to single out the stronger ones, etc. But like in these worlds, there's absolutely no excuse why you can't defeat all of them. So you'll see me do that for the next little while. Probably up until, well, I'll pretty much do it throughout the whole entire game. It's pretty time consuming, but like I said, it's well worth it. There are some areas though where I hate them and I just like avoid the enemies like the plague. Anyways, those were our last 2 enemies, so now we're actually ready to go and fight the boss, so let's get going and see how that's gonna turn out for us. Ho, so this is Malboro. He's a pretty popular enemy in games. You've seen him in a lot of Final Fantasies, I'm sure. Except this is a gigantic version of him, and I gotta say, this guy is not threatening at all. He's incredibly easy to beat, and his attacks suck. So this one here, this sucking attack, don't worry about getting inhaled. Actually go towards him because he won't attack you. All he'll do is just draw you in, which is useless. That spell he did right there is Sloga. That will slow you down. Avoid that. That's one of his more annoying attacks. He also has this ability to use Thorns. Again, really not that crazy or scary. And the last one he has is blowing his like poisonous breath on you, which he might do here. Again, yeah, there he goes. Which will poison you. So, basically, he really doesn't have, to be honest, like any physical attacks except for that thorn attack, and the poison can slow you down. But he's very, very easy to defeat. As you can see, I've just been whacking away at him with my weapon, and he's taking a lot of damage. And if I hit him with fire, he'll take even more damage. You'll want to use fire on this guy, fire, Fariga, whatever you want to use. Because it will take a lot of damage. Blizzard and Thunder aren't as effective. In later years, he'll actually cast Thunder spells, so Thunder actually isn't really that effective at all. So don't even bother. Use Fire; it will get you a long way. And really, like I said, he's slow, he's weak. Doesn't have a lot of attacks, so just go wild. I mean, if you really just want to attack this guy just to like taunt him, go right ahead, because really he's not going to do anything. Always take care of his little minions, because they're actually more annoying than the boss itself, because they can also poison you, which is extremely annoying. And he gives you plenty of time to cast spells of your own against him. Like, it's almost like he has to think about what he's doing before he does it. Like, that's what it seems like to me. Because he's just so damn slow. I'm gonna go ahead and attack him here for a few moments, because he's just wasting a turn, basically. And if you get close to him, he's more likely to use that poison attack, so it might actually be best to just kind of be really, really close to this boss, because the more he tries to suck you in and breathe on you, the more time you're just gonna have to attack him, in all honesty. So I really have no strategy for this guy. I feel this is a boss you really don't actually need strategy for. Just avoid the poison, avoid getting slowed down, because that is really annoying. And other than that, use fire spells and your attacks to your disposal, whatever you prefer. And this guy will go down in no time flat. I mean, he's, like I said, he's very easy to defeat, so I'm gonna finish him off with some fire spells, because that works a lot better. I'm just gonna ignore his lackeys because they're just annoying at this point. And there we go. Finishing blow. So we got the whole mushroom forest and the boss defeated in 15 minutes, which is awesome. And also, I forgot to mention that these cutscenes with you collecting your mirror is completely optional. I can skip these, so please let me know if you want me to skip these, or if you want to see them like once per world or something like that, because I can easily do that. But I personally like these scenes. They're so peaceful and very nice. Alright, and we only need one more drop in order to complete our chalice for the first year. You need to complete 3 dungeons per year to finish up a year, so we're halfway there pretty much, so that takes care of that world. We get a new diary entry, and we get mail! Oh, it's the male Moogle. He's so cute. I love Moogles. They're so adorable. Alright, and this time it's a letter from our family. This is actually from our baby sister, Momofi, or Faye. You'll always get this letter from her second, your little sister or your little brother. It's basically just like a bunch of like childish gibberish. But now that you have a letter from your family, I'll show you the different types of options you can do. After you've read your letter, you can reply to it by pressing A. You can say thanks, or how can I read this? It's probably best to not be a jerk to your family, so just say thanks, you know, do the polite thing. Since it's my little sister, I can send her anything I want to. I'm going to send her just a random item. If it's like your father, for example, sending you a letter, you want to send him something that's relevant to his trade. Like I'd want to send him maybe like a tomb. Like I'd want to send him a bronze belt, or you know, any of these, so that he can use them. He can use it in his shop. But since it's my little sister, I think I'll send her a potato because my character doesn't like potatoes. So just always be generous to your family. Send them nice replies with presents. It will get you a long way in this game later on. So go ahead and send that off, Mr. Male Moogle. Thank you very much. So long, Kupo. And what's our bonus condition for this one? Don't heal yourself. Okay, well I did quite a bit of healing, so... Oh wow, okay. I actually got 144 points. That's not too shabby. If you're sitting at 200, you're usually pretty good. So 144 is actually really good. So he probably dropped some good bonus accessories. So we've got strength, magic, defense, an extra heart. Again, strength, magic, and defense, and an extra heart. At this point in the game, I like to go for the like increases in other things. For example, last time I took an increase in a command slot, and this time I'm going to take another heart. Whereas, you know, most people would probably go for magic or defense or strength, but I'm gonna start with the kind of these boosters, and then I'll move on from there. Alright guys, so that's it. Sorry for the long video, but we could fit it all in, so I figured I would. And in the next video we will go ahead and we will continue on. Thanks so much for watching.